Damn, dude. Conductor with the little samurai wind chime shit, dude. That's
I
tight.
know.
I love that.
Hey, shout out to Jared, man. He's the one who hooked me up with that. So
That's dope.
amazing work from Jared. But I want to welcome everybody to another Conductor Sunday live stream. Obviously, it's going to be an awesome, kind of cloudy, rainy Conductor Sunday live stream, but that's okay. I still push through. We're joined by Tommy Toon World, the man, the myth, the legend with the amazing world famous food reviews. How you doing, Tommy?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm glad to be back doing this live streaming with you guys, especially on a Conductor live stream Sunday, man. What's up? OG, man, it's good to see you too.
Hell yeah, man. I love being on with you guys. It's always a good time.
Absolutely. And like he just said, the one and only Orange Go 55 with that wild, wicked trademark hair right there, just styling it up. I love it. How you doing, OG?
Doing good, man. I was actually at Universal for a little bit today with Theme Park Wizard. We did a little content, and the rain was wrecking havoc on my hair today. It was crazy, but I'm back. I'm back in business. But Tommy, Conductor, always an honor to talk shop with you fellows. Love you guys. Everybody in chat, Haunted Mermaid, Kiki and Luca, Arlie Angel, John, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's gonna be a good time tonight.
No, absolutely. And I want to give a big shout out to everyone in the chat and our two amazing guests. Both gentlemen have been a crucial part of the Theme Park Conductor channel. So I want to give a big shout out to you both. It's been so awesome from the very beginning to now, and even to the future of content on this channel. I cannot thank you guys enough.
No, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And speaking of the future, man, I mean, we got to enjoy this while we can before we have AI OG and AI Conductor and AI Tommy taking over,
I know. Right. You're telling me. Oh my God. You imagine a robot trying to have OG's hair. That scares me right there.
I'm telling you, bro.
That's scary.
It's crazy,
Oh my gosh. So I want to talk about the Festival of Holidays. Obviously, I was there grand opening day, battling the rain. Not battle of the ministry. No, battle of the rain in Southern California, which anyone in the chat watching on X or YouTube, I could tell you, OG and Tommy can tell you, we never get rain in Southern California. So when it rains, it pours. Okay. And it's rare. And trying to deal with rain at Disneyland, as much fun as many other people would say, oh, I love the rain. Yeah, trying to fight crowds, trying to deal with, filming content for Festival of Holidays, trying to eat, and then kind of thinking in the back of my mind, how in the hell does everyone have the day off? Okay, first of all, and why is it so packed at Disneyland, especially DCA in the rain? It's like,
dude, it's wild. It's wild out here. I live in LA County, and I mean the rain is so bad out here in LA County that people can't even push their dogs around in strollers out here. The sidewalks are so flooded.
That is so funny you mentioned that, because I've seen that so many times. I'm thinking, doing my morning walks I try to do every single week to stay healthy and whatnot. It cracks me up seeing people put their dogs in the stroller. It's like, when the hell did that become a fad? It's like, what?
It's crazy. It's wild, man. It's such a California thing, though. It really is,
Oh, by far. So the first item I have is it's a slider, and it looked really good. Okay, so this slider, had a pretzel bun. It had I think it was not pork belly meat, but it was like some type of shredded pork. But the interesting thing was the sauce they used for this slider was almost like a spaghetti sauce.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like, what in God's name am I eating? I kind of feel like I was almost like blindfolded and said, here, try this. And I'm like, what in the world? So I hey, perfect commercial. junk, removing junk. I don't know. I kind of felt that was weird for me.
It's an inside look at your just inside look at your colon. Get the junk out after that ladder.
I'm trying to make this semi-enjoyable because I know Tommy's going to be out here in early December with us to try the festival holidays, so I'm trying not to ruin it. But it's just, for me, it was weird. Okay. And then for George, it was even more weird. So I'm like, okay. So I think I gave it like a 4 out of 5. So I'm kind of picky when it comes to food because the way I kind of, figure things out is if it's too weird for me to try, I don't want to try it because obviously it's going to upset my stomach. My stomach's not going to like it. And then I'm going to see this junk removal commercial pop up. Maybe I should be sponsored by them every time I hate something. Just have that commercial popped up. So
Absolutely.
that's just
that's pretty good, bro. Hey, Conductor, I got a couple questions. Maybe like some quick fire off questions, yes or no. And if they're not yes or no, maybe just a quick answer.
Sure.
You ready? It's about festival holidays.
Sure.
All right, cool. So one, did you rope drop?
Yes.
You rope drop Disney DCA. All right, tight. And then did you go to Disneyland at all throughout the day?
Later that day.
Later that day, okay. And then I checked out the majority of your video, but did you do any foods at Disneyland?
So we didn't do any foods, but we did a flight. And what I mean by a flight, it was the 3 ice cream sodas at the Golden Horseshoe.
Oh man, was it good?
So 2 out of the 3 were good. One of them had a root beer with chocolate ice cream and chocolate sprinkles. I could tell you right now, chocolate ice cream and root beer do not mix. I'm telling you right now. No.
That's pretty good. And then I had another question back to DCA. Did you see any characters?
So the characters were basically not out at DCA. Once we headed to Disneyland, because I kind of feel like Disneyland has more cover areas for the characters to kind of hang out. We did see a lot more characters in Disneyland, like Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Minnie Mouse. So we did see that. But DCA had no characters whatsoever that I saw.
Got it. Excuse me. And then one more.
Sure.
Just to So did the rain like hinder any of the foods? Like, did your plate get drenched? Like, how are the Disney cast members like serving it? Usually, I know how it's serving, but are they underneath an awning or an umbrella or?
So they had umbrellas where the registers are, because obviously having electronics and rain don't mix. So they had umbrellas there. They had umbrellas where the team member was getting the food out of the booth and handing it to the customers. So they had those, but trying to find seating, especially covered seating, was almost nearly impossible because everyone just camped out. No one wanted to move. No one wanted to. And obviously, I tried to go into the pasta restaurant, Boardwalk Pizza, and they said, we have no seating in here. So I said, you know what, screw this. So there was several times like what I'm eating right now, that pork belly adobo with the garlic rice. It took us a hot minute to try to find a seat. That's how crowded it was in Paradise Gardens. But
well, real quick, Conductor, on that point, I found this out today actually from Wizard when I was at Universal.
Sure.
A lot of the tables at the 3 broomsticks had reserved on them, right? And I was waiting for him to join me for we were going to do it. We were recording a bar chat for my channel.
Oh, sure.
Like, what's going on here? Like 60%, 70% of the tables all have reserved on them. So when Wizard got there, he told me that I guess Universal's policy, at least for 3 broomsticks, is that on rainy days, they actually reserve tables for people that actually buy a meal, which is very interesting, right? Because I could see that being a problem in a theme park space when it's raining, especially out here in California. Like, Californians, we don't do well in the rain, it's no secret. No. But like, I can see people just dipping in there just to like hang out, right? And then the people that actually buy food, they don't have anywhere to sit. So that was kind of interesting. And I wonder if Disney implements something similar. I don't think they do though, but I thought that was actually a pretty interesting way that Universal handles it. Now, look, I know a lot of people probably don't like that, but I mean, honestly, I think the people that are buying food should be prioritized. I think that's only fair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I thought that was an interesting little tidbit that I literally found out just a couple hours ago.
No, absolutely. And you know what? That's another thing that I could say Universal does different than Disney, instead of copying each other, is something like that. And but you know, I think that's genius, because if you're going to pay the insane prices that the theme park charges for food, then why not prioritize, you know, make people that buy food, you know, more important than someone just trying to get out of the rain. You know what I mean?
No,
So
yeah, and you're taking a table for someone who is like, yeah, exactly. You're taking a table for someone who is literally paying, like, you know, to eat, you know. And look, it sucks. I get it, but like, it's kind of fair, honestly. So
yeah,
I get it, you know.
no, 100%. So I'm going to catch up on the chats because we got a lot of them. 7H John says, I wonder if they'll ever put a Toontown in Walt Disney World, or some different version of it. OG, you've been to Walt Disney World. Obviously, me and Tommy have not. March will be our first time. Do you think there's room for that?
I mean, there's room for it. They could do it if they wanted to. I don't think they ever will, to be honest with you. They did have a version of it years and years and years ago called Toontown Fair, and
Uh-huh.
it wasn't as, the quality wasn't really there though.
Sure.
It doesn't match the quality of the one that we have out here in California, and not the quality of the one that they have out there in Tokyo. But they did have a version of it, but it's been long gone. I would like to see it return. Do I think it will though? I just don't. I really don't think they're gonna bring any kind of Toontown to Disney World. Unfortunately, I think it's a cool little land, you know. But they already have Mickey and Minnie's out there in Florida, but they put it in Hollywood Studios in the Chinese theater.
Sure.
I just can't see them doing it. But hey, you never know. Maybe one day we'll see. But I seriously doubt it.
Yeah, no. Personally, for me, I don't know if I want to see going, you know, further. I don't know if I want to see lands copied, because we saw that with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and that was a big mistake, because now it kind of just kills the factor of, if you're visitors on the West Coast like me and Tommy and you are, going out to Florida, and then vice versa, Florida residents coming out to the West Coast to experience Disneyland, there's no incentive to go see Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
It's a clone by clone by clone copy. There's nothing different.
No, there
So,
not. Well, what about Crystal Ray today? What's going on? I love Crystal. She's awesome. She's awesome. But what about a different kind of version of it? Like, I think it'd be kind of cool to have like a Roger Rabbit version where it's like a 1930s Hollywood, maybe put it in Hollywood Studios and have like an ink and paint club and kind of have that kind of angle. Maybe that would be kind of cool if they were going to do it.
yeah.
I don't know. Something like that would be kind of fun. But yeah, I agree with you though, Conductor. I don't see like a clone of the current Toontown coming. I just don't.
No, I don't either. And before I answer more comments, the next food item we're all watching that I'm trying is that kind of blue raspberry drink and that M&M eclair. Okay, I do have to, yeah, I drop it here because it's so goddamn slippery. The tray was wet. Yep, see?
Oh,
I
there it
dropped it.
is.
Yeah, I dropped it. I saved it, but I dropped it. So
Hey, dude.
that was a little oops moment, but I left it in there. I said, you know what, the hell with this. So I just kept going with it. No, but the Eclair though, I have to be honest with you, the Eclair, because it had chocolate mousse in it, it was not rich. It was very toned down. So I love that, because when you think about it, chocolate mousse, whenever you've, you know, heard of it or you tried it, a lot of chocolate mousse versions are very rich. So this was not rich at all. So I gave this a 5 out of 5. It was awesome.
Okay.
The blue drink, it was the non-alcoholic version, because I don't drink alcohol. Is basically it was very sweet, like extremely sweet. And I don't get me wrong, I like my sweets, I like my little treats and my little joys here and there, but this was a whole nother level of sweet. It almost, made my mouth numb. So I kind of downplayed that. But that eclair, I think when we all go back in December, I think I am going to get that eclair again, and obviously it's going to be a lot more enjoyable than trying to eat it in the rain. So I might get a better taste out of it this time around. And
well, Giant Peter says you dropped it, but you got that 5-second reel, and I think you got it. I think you got it back up off that table about 2.5 seconds. So you're good, bro. You're good.
Hey,
you're good.
Hey, I work in retail, so I have lightning hands. So
there you go.
That's how quick I am. No, but see how colored that drink is? It's like a Mountain Dew Baja Blast color, but even darker than that. It was ridiculous.
It was frozen, like you said, or
no. It was just a regular drink, but it was sugary. And it was so sugary. It was so bad. That melon guava drink that George had, I have to tell you, that was super refreshing. Like, it was not over the top. It was like just a perfect amount of ingredients. I gave that a 5 out of 5. I'm like, if it's not raining and it's just a midday and it's sunny, maybe a little hot, that drink's like 100% knockout for just getting refreshed.
And what was that?
Man, I have to try that one. Yeah, what was that called?
It was a I don't know the exact name, but it had guava in it, and it had some type of fruit in it. And it had, the only bad part I gave it, it had these. Do you guys know the honeycomb cereal?
Yeah.
Okay, so it had little honeycombs on it, but I had to ding Disney for this because I ate one stale. I'm like, oh God. So
it's been sitting outside. I mean, how long, it's in the tree,
Yeah, that's rough.
It was.
Hey, but no. So did you use all your Sip and Savor pass? It had 6, right?
It had 6. No, I still have 2 left.
Way to go, man. Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Resourceful conductor. Because, I'm ready to knock out like 6, maybe 12. I mean, we could all partake in some food items. But I noticed Disneyland has tons too, like the gingerbread cookies at Harbor Galley,
So this is where I kind of deviate, is because when you think about it, obviously DCA has the Festival of Holidays with the Sip and Savory. I wish Disney, like Disneyland, I wish they had a Sip and Savory pass.
Me too.
Foods. I think
I'm with you.
I think that's something they can incorporate. But one thing I would say, and I mentioned this to George, was just the mere fact that instead of 6 tabs, I wish it was 8, especially for Magic Key holders, especially for the Inspire Magic Key holders. I wish it was 8 and not 6. I think we kind of got ripped off a little bit.
One of the years for Lunar New Year, they gave you an option for 6 or 12.
Yes.
I don't know why they stopped giving the option. I mean, of course we could get the 12 or the 6 or 8. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was something else. But you could always buy 2, but it's just expensive.
It's super expensive. And I watched a video. I think, OG, you were on it yesterday or the day before with Jared, and I caught a snippet of it. And I think it was either you or Jared or Slimer was saying that Disney's, we're seeing it across the West Coast and the East Coast where they're budget cutting everything. So this is just another prime example of that.
Yeah, I mean that's sad. That's sad that, like, we talked about it on our bar chat, Conductor. Like, there were less booths, right? Which is sad to see that. I really like these festivals because they usually bring a lot of different kind of foods to a theme park environment, like cultural foods that you typically wouldn't see. A lot of theme park foods, a lot of corn dogs and hot dogs and chips, but a lot of times with these festivals, you get like different kind of stuff, and I think that's pretty cool. So it's sad when I see any kind of cuts when it comes to this kind of stuff, but I don't know. That's why I advocate for Westcott, because Westcott, you could have those Epcot style festivals all the time, and it would be tailor made for that stuff. It'd be awesome.
Hey, I'm putting my hands up right now. If I hear a Westcott going in a Toy Story, I will promise you, I will book my hotel in advance, and I'll make sure I'm there at 1 in the morning, waiting
There you go.
outside for Westcott. I will do it. I
Let's
am
do it, man.
100% determined for that.
I'll be there with you, bro. I'll be there with you. You know, but even I'll be up. I'll be up at 1 a.m. with you with my coffee, and my hair won't even be up yet. You know.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. No, but overall it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad festival. I think the takeaway I have to, say is I wish more tabs, more booths, and more variety of food. But I do agree with OG though. Um, the festivals are awesome, whether it's Festival of Holidays, whether it's Lunar New Year, whether it's um, food and wine. One thing I take away from these festivals, besides the food and the atmosphere, is the commingling between, guests that watch our YouTube channels and other content creators. It's a great time just to hang out, talk, discuss, break stuff down. And that's what I did at Festival of Holidays. I ran into a gentleman on Instagram who follows me. His name's Ivan, and he's actually part of the group of Disney Scoop Guy, Matt. So he noticed I was at DCA, so he came over. He was doing some other stuff, and then he met me at Smoke Jumpers Grill. And shout out to Smoke Jumpers Grill. Okay, I've never eaten there, so the other day was my first time eating there. I have to tell you, the breakfast, oh my god, so awesome. I had a breakfast burrito with chorizo. Dude, Tommy, 5 out of 5. And this thing was big. It wasn't small, it was big. And then their hash browns, I think they give McDonald's a run for their money on their hash browns. It was actually pretty damn good. So
Okay.
I definitely,
man, it's funny you said that.
Why is that?
It looks fire. I mean, because I was saying that the other day in one of my Disney videos that Smoke Jumpers Grill kind of stepped it up this year, because I had those buffalo chicken, onion rings, and then I seen some stuff this year that I wanted to try, and then you're telling me the breakfast. So you rope dropped and then went straight to breakfast, or what was the plan?
So I rope dropped, and then I started heading towards the area where you could pick up your lanyard, and due to the rain, they didn't have the booth open. So I went to the store next to Starbucks, and walked in there, and they were selling the pass. So I got in there, and I'm like, you know what? It's just raining. The cast member I bought the lanyard from said they weren't going to start the festival until 11. So I'm like, you know what? I can't wait until 11, because I'm sitting there. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm hungry. Obviously, the festival hasn't started yet, and I'm not going to sit there and go ride rides for 2 hours and be in the rain, because each ride probably was a good hour that was open. And what was crazy to me was it was raining pretty decently, pretty heavily, pretty consistently. They had radiators open. They had Incredicoaster open. I'm like, these people have, these people are nuts. Riding that type of attraction in the rain. Now, if I was staying on property, I would do it. But I wasn't staying on property. I had a 2-hour drive home. I'm like, I'm trying to avoid the rain as much as humanly possible, because it sucks. But
yeah, I hear you on that
well,
one.
now, John,
Man, it's funny.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just say real quick, John saying the McDonald's French fry wagon next to Big Thunder was nice. That was old school. That was back in the day.
Yeah,
it was called Westward Ho, but that place was, dude, you walk right up, you get McDonald's fries. I don't know why they got rid of that. I mean, that seemed like such a fire idea, but yeah, it's gone now. But
well, see, it's interesting you mentioned that, OG, because I kind of reference that a lot to Epcot in its early days, with a lot of the attractions being sponsored by companies, and now you don't really see it as much anymore, especially out there. So, and even out here at Tomorrowland and Disneyland, in its prime, there were a lot of attractions that were sponsored by companies, and I've seen that just go away. So, But I agree with you. I remember as a kid, my dad taking me to Disneyland, and that's one of the stops we would make.
Yeah.
Is at that cart. So believe me, I know all about that cart, and I was crying the day they got rid of it. It was pretty sad.
Yeah, it was dope. Now, Lucas is asking, do I have to be prepared to book dining reservations for Disneyland? I mean, Lucas, I would. Now, look, you don't have to go overboard, Lucas. You don't have to like book every single meal, but like I would like at least book maybe like your dinners and stuff like that. I don't know. That's just me. I mean, and it also depends on what you want, right? If you don't mind like
Yeah.
walking up and getting like a corn dog, you can probably just do mobile order. But if you want to go to like a sit down restaurant like Lamplight Lounge or anything like that, yeah, you're gonna need dining resis, you know, for sure.
Oh
Yeah, I agree with OG on that one. Like, I usually plan out my Disney food before I get to the park, and if I'm not doing a dine in or a sit down, I'm booking the exact estimated time I want for when I'm picking up what, and then that's how I hit it in that order. So like, you can always cancel it. It is good, you know, to plan ahead because you don't want anything like not going your way. You know what I mean? You don't want to miss out on the gingerbread cookies at Harbor Galley. You don't want to, you know what I mean? But if you're going the OG route, like he's saying, you know, like you book Carnation Cafe. I mean, a lot of this stuff gets booked out way ahead of time, and then you're like, oh yeah, you want to go to the Cafe Orleans and you want to go to Blue Bayou, and you are not going unless you do standby. It's not fun, especially if you do not live in the state. So I would definitely plan ahead and overbook. You might as well.
Yeah,
as well. Yep.
Well, see that's interesting you mentioned that, Tommy, because overbooking, I don't think Disney's caught on to that yet. People that do overbook, they don't get penalized for it, as far as I know. So overbooking might be the strategy until they start really realizing too many people are doing it, and then they'll probably restrict it. But you know, it's interesting you mentioned Carnation Cafe because it's one of my favorite restaurants now on Main Street. And how small that restaurant is, even with the outdoor patio area, I kind of feel like those type of restaurants, they need a time limit. You know what I mean? Once you get the food and whatnot, there should be a time limit in place for.
And I think there was actually for Carnation. I think there was, right?
Is there, OG? Is there a
I'm pretty sure there was.
I think there is. Yeah, I believe so.
There is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason why I asked, I guess Carnations is just a plus restaurant to eat on Main Street. And don't get me wrong, we were there. When were we there, Tommy? All of us, I think, back in what, May?
May. Yeah.
May. Yeah.
Yeah, May. And we all sat at the table. It was a lot of fun just hanging out with all of us. And the food was excellent. So I could see why it's like, you know, you book a reservation and it's gone. You know what I mean? So I get
well,
it.
even DCA, man. I mean, Lamplight Lounge gets filled up really quick.
Oh,
I mean,
dude,
especially like if you're going in the summer. I mean, all that stuff outside gets filled up and stuff. Obviously, you know, we're in the winter now, so it may even be getting filled up faster. You know,
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just want to bring up some other comments before we jump to our next subject. Is a brand the Lego Disney fan says also Burger Invasion, the closest to a McDonald's on resort property without walking to a nearby one.
Yeah, no, that's true. Burger Invasion at DCA. That's currently where the what's it called now? That where they have all the cocoa stuff, like we're next to Boardwalk Pizza and all that.
Yeah.
That used to be a McDonald's there. It was called, it's crazy, but it's gone now. But now it's like a walk-up thing. But yeah, it's wild. Man. Now our good friend Mr. Webba here says River Bell is the one sit-down table service restaurant that always has a walk-up availability. That's good to know. That's good to know.
Thanks, Webba. Yeah, hey, I'm glad, man. I gotta hang out with Webba soon, man. Hopefully we can hang out soon.
Oh, dude. Webba's fun in the parks, man. That guy's a go-getter. I swear, he's a go-getter. He loves it. He loves the action. And man, when he's not saving his neighborhood as the neighborhood Spider-Man, and if he's not working backstage at Disneyland, the guy is just a full person of energy. The guy just never sleeps. It seems like he's like me. ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
Weba is cool. Weba is like, because I've always said, like, for theme parks, I'm a vibes guy. So I can go to these parks, I can do next to nothing, and I'm happy, bro. I can just eat and drink and chill and talk to the homies. I'm cool, you know. But Weba's more of a rides guy, and he will like he has that great strategy where he will knock that stuff out, man. He knows how to do it. I know, Conductor, you guys were knocking out a bunch of rides with Marcus when you guys were down there, right?
dude, okay, so if you think Weba has energy, Mark from Can Camper, dude, this guy, I don't know if he streamlines monsters or energy drinks, but this guy was like 24/7 full steam ahead. I'm like, damn, I couldn't even catch up in it. And Tommy knows, OG knows, I walk fast in the park. It's just my mentality. This guy was almost running, but in walking form. Like, damn, dude, I almost have to run to catch up to this guy. It was insane.
It's wild. Now, Tones TV, good friend of the channel. We love Tones. Tones Poppy's in the house. But he said, wait, is it allowed to have this many good-looking men inside one live? You know what? We're kind of breaking the rules, Tones. But, you know, hopefully YouTube doesn't notice. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we'll see.
I think Daddy Josh is going to get I think he's going to get mad and jealous.
Yeah, I think so.
60 men around here. Unbelievable. The next thing I want to show, and this is from WDWNT, is a storybook, and I was going to film a POV myself, but due to the rain, I couldn't do it. But Tommy actually reminded me months ago when I was doing my TikTok in the park, and I'm planning on doing more of those, that my viewers actually can see my past live streams. So I did do a live stream on TikTok going on Storybook. So if you want to check that out, but I wanted to film a POV, but by the time I got back over there, because I wanted to catch it at night with the spotlights and all that, they closed it because it was just downpouring. So I couldn't do it, but I'm going to play this. First of all, I want to ask you, OG, because we've seen this Storybook and Casey Jr. be under a multi-month refurb. What do you think about the new addition they added? What do you think about just the flowers in the front where the Storybook name is, and then obviously the whale, the colors, the vibrance? What do you think about it? You think they did an awesome job with that?
Yeah, I do. I think it turned out really nice. I love the fact that they added Tangled to the attraction. I think you have to do that. I mean, obviously, as you go forward, you're going to have new animated films, new classics, right? And you want to incorporate as many of those as you can. These places are not meant to be museums. You know, Walt constantly wanted these places to evolve. And one of the powers, so to speak, of the Disney flywheel and keeping these characters relevant for generations is the fact that these film characters live on forever in the parks. So obviously Tangled is an amazing movie, which I can't even believe it's what, like 15, almost 16 years old now, which is crazy. I mean, that's wild to me, but this is a classic Disney film at this point, right? So it's important to incorporate it into the attraction. It looks amazing. Look at the tower. It looks great. So I love what they did here. I want to see them constantly do this. I want them to do this whenever we have new animated films that resonate like this. It's always good to add them in there. I get it. A lot of fans might get upset because they might remove one that that you liked before, but it is what it is. You know, I mean, that's the DNA of these parks, is that they're ever evolving, and that's exciting to me. I don't know, but yeah, the attraction looks amazing, and Rapunzel's like a no-brainer. Like, of all the IPs right now, I mean, that's the one that, come on, you have to add her into here. You know, you have to.
No, absolutely. And one of the things I've seen, because when I wrote it, it was actually, besides the other day when I wrote it and I filmed it for my TikTok live, was I'm going to be honest with you, it's been 10 years prior, almost 10 years prior when I last rode that. So it was very nice to see not just the Frozen element they added a few years ago, but now this Tangled Tower, which is absolutely incredible. We got Theme Park Casual. Man, that guy is awesome. Casual, if you're still watching this, it was so awesome to meet you in person finally at the OG meet and greet in downtown Disney. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we're gonna do another OG55 meetup again, but when the weather's better. Obviously, we're not gonna do that now. We don't want to be sloshing through the parks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we can't see OG's hair, which is insured at this point, downflate.
Right.
We can't see that, so
Nah, dude.
it's insured. So we have to protect that.
Of course.
No, but you know, going through this attraction, there are areas and kind of blank spots they kind of filled in with flowers and whatnot that they can add new additions to this attraction. I wonder maybe, and again, I don't know if they would base it off of like the company's, you know, new addition, whether it's the international parks or out here at Disneyland or in Walt Disney World. But if they're doing all the parks and adding new additions here and there, I would not mind seeing some type of scene from the new Lion King water attraction going to Disneyland Paris. I think that would be awesome. So I don't know if this attraction is going to, cover all that, or it's just going to cover future projects of just the Disneyland Resort. And if that's the case, I wonder how they would incorporate Avatar into this.
Yeah, man, I would always love Lion King on here, having like Pride Rock, and then during the day doing, you know what I mean, Circle of Life, and then at night they could do Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Oh no, that's not the right song. What's the one with Nala and him? But yeah, anyway, so yeah, man, like I love doing this ride at night, man. It's always like one that I like to end off with. Like you said, it's not mandatory, Conductor. I don't go on it every time, but I'm happy to see the refurb and stuff because, you know, this is one of those rides that's just been sticking around forever. You know, it's like classic. OG was saying, you know, you can't lose adding Rapunzel from Tangled. I mean, I just wonder how they choose. Like, I mean, there's no survey because they have Aladdin in there. Why not get the Lion King in there, you know?
Oh, I 100% agree with you on that. And Tones TV here says, "Why haven't I been on this ride, boys?" You know, Tones, I think you would really like it because Tones, you're kind of a vibes guy, Tones, a little bit of a vibes guy. And this, even though technically this is a ride, it's loaded with the vibes, bro. I mean, this ride is all vibes, right? I mean, I think you would really enjoy it. Next time you come down here, Tones, we'll take you on it. It's a great little attraction.
Oh, absolutely. And then we got to get Tones back on Goofy Sky Skull because that was just too damn funny to watch that.
Oh, yeah, bro. I'm telling you.
I rode Indiana Jones with him. That was pretty fun.
Oh, dude. Hey, I'm never going to forget it. It was, who was it? Me, Camper, OG, and Webba. So we're riding Indy, right? So literally we go through the entire attraction. And just before the load and unload area, we get stuck for like 25 minutes, and I filmed that TikTok just sitting there, you know, just I'm like, oh my god. And literally, like, to the right of me, because I was at the end, literally I could step off and get off the attraction. That's how close we were. I'm like, oh my god, it was torture. It was almost torture.
And me and Tones, we were like up waiting to go on, and it was like right there. We're like the next group, you know.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now, Tones, it might have been down for refurb. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that I don't know if it was down for refurb or not because they were installing that Rapunzel tower. Do you remember, Conductor, if it was down when Tones was? This was like in August. I would think it was probably down, Tones, to be fair, but
I think it was walled up. Yeah. I couldn't see the whale. You couldn't see the whale for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was walled up. I think it just closed when Tones was here. It literally just closed. So they had no chance of adding the Rapunzel yet. They were still putting up scaffolding and whatnot when he was here. But he definitely has to get on it. It would be awesome to see his reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. Man, that's why I love Disneyland, bro, because like every time you go, it's a different experience no matter what. Like you just had one, it was all rainy and stuff. Then when I come, you know, it could still be rainy or it could be clear. Then we're out there doing a different vibe. You know what I mean? It's always going to be different. That's why I love the theme parks, especially Disney.
No, absolutely. So our next thing we're going to talk about, this is kind of getting away from the Disney magic. This is going back to Sin City for a minute. Good friend of the channel, HHN Speculation Matt, shared this on Instagram. And God, I wish we had this when me and Tommy were there opening weekend. This is at Horrors Unleashed in Las Vegas. They added Krampus and his minions. Oh my gosh.
And they look like all female minions, actually.
They do. And you're calling my name right there. You are.
I mean, it's Vegas. Sorry. Yeah, it's hard switching subjects like this, Conductor. You can't. It's like
I know. We go very hard. Yeah, we go from storybook canal boats.
Hey, that's just how I roll, man.
You know,
I put you guys on the spot, and I love it.
I love it. Hey, you're keeping us on our toes.
Keeping that brain working, especially
I love
that hair stiffed up.
I'm telling you, man. My hair was having a rough time though at Universal today, man. I'm telling you, it was with that weather. It was hard. You'll see it in the bar chat with Wizard. You'll see it. It was all over the place.
Oh boy. Am I gonna have to read a contact warning before I watch that?
I think so.
Oh Lord. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But no, the mere fact that they added this to Horrors Unleashed, I have to be honest with you. It really shows that Universal did not give up on this concept. Yeah. You know, because I know a lot of people were worried, you know, after the first couple weeks, maybe the first couple months of this attraction in Las Vegas opening, it was just going to be dead on, you know, just dead. No one's going to want to go to it. No one's going to want to experience it. So this is a nice way to kind of get people kind of excited about it again, especially when they're already building the one in Chicago. And from what I was told by somebody, and I forgot who told me, they already have 3 more locations mapped out in other states. Wow. So they are not toning this experience down. They're increasing it more and more and more. But I have to.
And that actually points to the fact that, because there's been a lot of question marks when it comes to the success of the Vegas location. I haven't heard about the other ones besides Chicago. But if that's true, though, Conductor, about they've already mapped out a few others, I mean, that kind of points to this thing being a big hit for them. I mean, at least they're happy with what they're seeing results-wise. Otherwise, they wouldn't be planning that many going forward.
Exactly. So. And you know what? I see like 2 or 3 big wins. Like one... shout out Barbara. She's one of my followers on Instagram. She actually went like with her family Halloween time, and I asked, I said, is it still thriving? And she said it was packed, and one of the house lines she couldn't even go through because it was so packed. So I'm happy that it's still thriving. And then another thing, what you're saying, OG, like it's a big hit for Universal. You know what I noticed is Universal kind of has like a little hub now in Vegas, and that's the hub, because they kind of have like business parties there sometimes, and it's just suits and stuff. I feel like now that's like a spot for them to lock in for Vegas. And you know, it's funny, Conductor, they might as well hire you, because I think on record you said Krampus for December, and this was before Horror Unleashed even came out. Yeah, this was like 8-10 months ago. Like, you know what I mean? It's cool. So looking at that, it's cool. Universal knows what the fan expects. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard to figure it out. Yeah.
No, by far. And just real quick, I didn't even know something like this can come to life. I knew that we had the Halloween Horror Nights house years ago, out here in Hollywood, but I never thought in a million years they would actually, you know, bring something like this to Horrors Unleashed. I was kind of just spitballing just to kind of create conversation. I never thought in a million years they would do this. But OG, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say Vegas is really the perfect city for a brand like Universal. Universal has that edge to it, that grit to it, that kind of like that. I don't know. It's not a Disney. I'll say that, right? Yeah. And I think that Universal, for what it is, and for Universal for what kind of brand it is, and for Vegas for what kind of town it is, I think these two entities would come together really, really well. Now, look, Universal, I don't want people to get the wrong idea, right? Universal is still for families. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
But it has enough of an edge, though, that it can fit comfortably in that Vegas space, right? I think Disney would have a little harder time. I mean, you could probably do Marvel maybe or something, but Disney's a little bit more hit and miss. No, a hit and miss. See how I tied that in there, Tommy?
Yes, sir.
A little more hit and miss, but like I think Universal is more. Vegas is much more universal, and I think they were really smart to move into this town. I agree with you, fellas. I think they're going to constantly evolve this HHN location. I'm very curious what they do going forward. Like even as we get further and further away from Halloween, like what kind of stuff do they incorporate? You know, so it'd be fun to kind of watch it evolve. I don't know, it's pretty cool, and this opens the door too to a lot of standalone themed venues. You know, we saw a lot of that back in the 90s with like Michael Eisner with things like, you know, Disney Quest and stuff like that. And it looks like Universal's bringing that whole era back. So we'll see how it all shapes up.
Oh, by far. So Tones TV, shout out to him and OG and Tommy for being awesome, amazing moderators, as long with Kiki and Luca as well. You guys are awesome. But Tones asked, question for you boys, why is it every 10 years or so Universal Studios gets put up for sale and sold? Is there something wrong with the company that doesn't make money?
I think he's saying okay, so yeah, Tones corrected. He said he means WB. So
WB,
Tones,
okay.
yeah, he means WB. Okay, so Tones, here's the problem. WB is an amazing studio. And Tones, I know you're passionate about Game of Thrones. I love that franchise. I've been really passionate about the animation over there at Warner Brothers for years and years and years. When I was a kid, it was Disney and Warner Brothers. You would come home from school and it would either be the Disney afternoon or it'd be like Tiny Toons, the Animaniacs, all that good stuff. So it's nothing to do, I don't think, with the quality of what they have in their library. Sure. I think Warner Brothers was honestly just handed like kind of like, for lack of a better word, like a shit sandwich for like 20 plus years. They merged with America Online in like 2000, and they've had a steady line of terrible management between AOL and AT&T. And I just think they just haven't had the best go around for the past couple of decades. Hopefully, I'm hoping upon hope that Comcast Universal will acquire them. And I know a lot of people get uneasy about that because of monopoly this, monopoly that. Look, Warner Brothers is going to be sold no matter what. So some other big company is going to buy it. So if it's not going to be Comcast, it'll be Apple or Amazon or some other big thing, right?
Sure.
Universal does a great job fostering their IP. We've seen them do a great job with DreamWorks. We've seen them do a great job even licensing stuff out with like Harry Potter for their theme parks and Nintendo for their theme parks. I think Universal would be a great owner for that amazing studio, and it would be the first owner in a long time that I think would do a really good job. Not just that, but the potential that they could for these IPs in their theme parks with all the animation, with all the, you know, Cartoon Network stuff and the Hanna-Barbera stuff and Scooby-Doo. But Tones, long story short, WB has just had a string of bad luck when it comes to owners. Hopefully they can settle down with a good owner this time and they can get back on track, because Warner Brothers used to be Disney's biggest competition back in the day, and they've really fallen from grace to the point where if you were to show a young kid some of these animated characters like, you know, like Daffy Duck or Tasmanian Devil, they probably wouldn't even know who they are. That's how far this studio has fallen. It's really sad to watch.
No, absolutely. Remy asks, did we talk about WB potentially being sold to the Saudis? OG, what do you think about that? Do you think that's even an idea? I hope it wouldn't, you know, go to that, because again, I think out of all the companies that are bidding, and if anyone knows in the comments, or OG, you know, or Tommy, if you know, because I think a deadline date was posted for final bids for Warner Brothers, and then they're going to decide from there who wins the bid. But I think, and I've said it time and time again, like OG kind of said in his spiel, is I think Universal Comcast has the most to lose by far.
They do have a lot to lose, because they have a lot at stake here. They have a licensing agreement with Warner Brothers right now for Harry Potter. You know, there's a lot going on here. But the Saudi thing, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually connected to Universal, because Comcast CEO Brian Roberts went to Saudi, and I think it was Puck Puck News.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Matt Bellani. He's awesome. But they were talking about how he was over there for, I believe, like it was rumored to be like theme park stuff.
Yeah.
And also to discuss possibly the Saudis joining Comcast and acquiring WB. So
it makes sense, OG, because when you look at it, because Disney's building their new park out there, or at least they're trying to.
Right.
And then WB already has a park out there. So that would be under Universal's control if they do acquire Warner Brothers. So they will already have a park out there. So they're already established. And all they have to worry about is just some rebranding and just updating from time and time again. And who knows, it could be something where we see like with Disney, with the international parks, where they license out the IPs of the Disney company, but for example, like Hong Kong and some of these other Disney parks, they license it out to a third party who actually builds the attractions, and they're just leasing the IP from the Walt Disney Company. I could see that with Universal and the Saudis if they want to build new experiences, new attractions, new shows based off IP that Universal would own at that time, owning Warner Brothers. Basically, it would be kind of like a loan program where they would build it, but Universal would reap all the rewards by loaning the IP out.
Yeah, no, it's possible. It's possible. And I think also a lot of people talk about like the Six Flags deal, you know, how Six Flags has the rights to DC and the Warner Brothers characters for a lot of their parks. The thing with that is like right now, Cedar Fair and Cedar Fair Six Flags, they're all one company now. They all, you know, they merged, right? But they're on the struggle bus right now financially, you know.
Oh yeah, by far.
They're looking for money, and if Comcast writes a big enough check, they'll hand those rights over almost certainly. I don't think it's a big enough deal for Six Flags to carry to hang on to those rights if Comcast were to write a big enough check. So if Comcast were to buy WB, I could see them definitely working something out and getting those rights. So I mean, I hope they do, man. I just want to see the Looney Tunes and I want to see DC. Dude, can you guys imagine? Can you guys freaking imagine a fully realized Gotham City? Dude, I'm talking like Wizarding World, but Gotham City, dude. I mean,
that's fire, man,
dude. And then Tommy, this was Wizard's idea, which I thought was brilliant. Then you can do for HHN, you can do Arkham Asylum in Gotham. Like,
dude.
Bro,
that's
you're calling my
that's
name,
it, man. That's it. So that's the thing with WB, man. They got so much heat on the back burner, but then even just supporting from this year, they killed it in the horror, man. They did Weapons, bro. Like that was fire. You know, The Conjuring, of course, right? Sinners was on WB, and then you know WB does Minecraft, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So they got heat. Superman, let's go, man. Like bring it to somewhere that could utilize the properties more than stretched out farther than just movies, because the entertainment is more prevalent in this day and age than ever. People want to escape and they want to go to their favorite places and favorite things that are like in the shows and stuff. So yeah, and Universal did it with Epic Universe. So that, you know, if they pulled it off, it's funny though, OG, you're mentioning, you know, you want Looney Tunes and stuff, you know, but like David Zaslav is just, he hates Looney Tunes. You know, he's canon one of the movies. Then he brings it back because everybody, you know, talked about it so much. You know, the Acme one, Acme or whatever that's coming back. I don't know, bro. Like, it's crazy. Like, the Looney Tunes used to be, like, top tier, bro, when I was growing up, like you said. Because me and you kind of around the same age, but a little bit off. But still, it's, like, the same vibe, bro. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, even Looney Tunes, though, like, it's out here sometimes at my Six Flags. So I'm just ready for them to, like, amp it up. And like you said, man, Wizard with that Arkham Asylum would be crazy, bro. I can't even imagine that. Like, bro, Epic Universe would be like a good place to put it. I know it's not Hollywood, so you know, but who knows?
Yeah, but see, a lot of it's funny you mention that because I've repeatedly said it, whether it's on Conductor Sunday live streams or on Orange Go 55's channel or other people's channels. I've always said that if Comcast and Warner Brothers merge, I'm telling you right now, Hollywood is going to get a massive, and I mean massive upgrade. I'm telling you, it might take some time. That's understandable, but all those old sound stages on the lower lot will be non-existent. All the production, or at least 90% of it, will be moved across the street. You imagine just the possibilities, like OG said, incorporating Batman, dude. One of the best Batman movie series, and people may or may not like it. My personal favorite is the Dark Knight series with Christian Bale. Oh my God, 100% my favorite. I can imagine having a Batman themed land based off Dark Knight. Oh my gosh, and Heath Ledger's the Joker running around. Oh, dude.
Hey, that's amazing. And Universal has the balls to do something like that. That's why I want them to have WB so bad. I mean, look what they're doing. Look what they're doing with FanFest.
Yeah.
They took Scooby-Doo, and they're collaborating Scooby with the Universal monsters.
Yeah.
Like how brilliant is that mashup? Because you have Scooby-Doo, which is a franchise where the gang, Scooby and the gang, they go out there and they uncover like ghosts and goblins or whatever, right? And so you take that IP and then you mix it up with the Universal stuff. And it's like the perfect crossover, dude. And it's like that's the kind of creativity I want Universal to have that free reign to kind of do that kind of thing with Warner Brothers without having to like go through licensing and all that stuff. You know, I think they would be amazing for it. I really, really do. But we'll see. But it's looking like they might get it. It's looking like they might. I don't know. We'll see.
Good. I'm telling you what. The second I hear that news, we got to do a live stream. That will be breaking the internet by far when that deal goes down. I'm telling you now. Oh my gosh. That's going to be awesome.
We'll do this crazy mega like monstrous live, all multi-channel. Like we're just gonna have a big old party, dude. I really want this to happen, and I've never been more. I don't want to say like obviously this stuff is always in flux and like there's a lot of variables that go into this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I've never been this confident about it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Comcast. It's just the way things are moving. And you're hearing the Hollywood Trays talk about it. Like they're kind of like thinking the same thing. So it's exciting, man. It is. Dude.
Oh, no. So Tones TV had another question. He says, I just need some clarity for Game of Thrones, which is his niche for his channel. He loves Games of Thrones and Harry Potter shows already greenlit. My fear is that those shows will be taken away. Most likely not, but you never know.
Here's the thing, Tones, and that's a fair concern that you have. And I don't want to like, I'm not gonna gas you up and say it won't happen, honestly, because I can't. I mean, it very well could. But here's the thing. Here's the saving grace sort of with that. The shows that are further along in the pipeline are less likely to get shit canned. So if you have a Game of Thrones show, or like for example, the Harry Potter stuff, I think that's too far along. Like by the time you know Comcast does their bid, and by the time that whole thing gets approved, and by the time it closes the deal, you're talking like a year and a half, 2 years out from now. The Harry Potter thing is way too far along, so I wouldn't worry about Harry Potter. The Game of Thrones stuff, I do know there is quite a few projects there. The stuff that's far along will be fine, but the stuff that's kind of like just in development in that talking stage. Yeah, it could get canned. And here's the thing: when companies merge like that, or a company acquires another company, they're looking for ways to trim the fat because they're trying to save money because they just spent $1 billion to do the deal, and now they got to cut, right? So it's a fair concern, Tones, but
that is
right. But I mean, some of it will be saved, and some of it will inevitably be cut. You know, unfortunately, but,
Well, so yeah, I mean, I have an opinion on it. Like, you know, me and Conductor been to the WB studio tour, and they have tons of Game of Thrones stuff, lore everywhere, tons of Harry Potter stuff. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be locked in. They'll keep that just for WB, right? But it's funny that you mentioned that because it kind of got me thinking of James Gunn and like his whole WB thing. And what if it does get sold and then DC Studios like revamps again? I mean, you never know. Like you said, like Zaslav is going off his rails right now, like trying to sell everything. I don't know. it just bothers me what was happening with everything with this company and stuff, because it's important, man. It's important to keep our studios intact. You know what I mean? And but bringing it back to what you said, Tones, like, man, that Game of Thrones is going to stay. Man, they're pumping out the series, man. Harry Potter, they said 10 seasons. I mean, there's no way. HBO, I mean, come on. Yeah, we got it, bro. Yep. See, yeah, a 10-year
10 year.
project.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's a 10-year thing. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, that would be, that's tough, man. That would be really tough. That would be a hit to the franchise, to be honest with you, Tones, because what was the last big thing that what was the last big addition to the Harry Potter franchise? It was Fantastic Beasts, which didn't do well. WB ended up canceling that whole series, right? That whole film series. So to go out there and do a big TV show on HBO Max, and then they cut it, or they trim it down to like a couple episodes or something. Like Wizarding World is a cool franchise, and it deserves better than that. So I hope they don't. I hope they don't, Tones. But yeah, everything's going to be kind of up in the air. That's the only thing. We just don't know.
Well, see, it's interesting because that's one of the things I'm going to bring up here in a little bit. Because when you look at Epic Universe, even though, like OG said, Fantastic Beasts did horrible in the box office. It really honestly did. I wish it did better, but it didn't. So the fact that, again, Comcast has brass balls, as I call it, and decided to build a whole land anyway based off an IP that did not do well in the box office shows that Universal still has, you know, interests in the Harry Potter franchise, whether it's Harry Potter, whether it's Fantastic Beasts, or anything of the sorts. They still want to incorporate it into their park. And there's been talks for over 10 years about adding a new addition to Hollywood's Universal Park, which still may happen because they're going through a massive transformation. So the fact that what has it been, over 10, 15 years since the original movie franchise came out, and then now, you know, just recently in the last probably 5 to 8 years, we saw Fantastic Beasts come out. Now, like I said, we're going to talk about an article where Alicia Stella put out a video about another new addition coming to that area where Fantastic Beasts is, possibly another Harry Potter edition based off a different ride system. It still shows that there's interest. So, for my opinion, for Tones' comment, I honestly do not think they will cut either one of those. I think it's going to be kind of touch and go for a little bit for other projects, because now it's kind of in a way where Comcast is not taking all of WB. It's taking a lot of it. It's like picking and choosing what they want. I obviously IPs is going to be the number one, but there are other vital areas like HBO Max they want, because obviously Peacock is not doing well at all, so they want that. And then other areas, the park, or not park but company. So it makes you wonder how much debt they're actually going to accrue on top of the debt they already have with everything else. So
Well,
it's
the interesting thing too with that whole situation is that WB and Comcast are both spinning off a lot of their cable stuff.
Yeah,
almost like they're preparing for a deal, which I thought that was kind of interesting. I always say that, like, coincidences are never a coincidence, right?
No.
And I think Zazzy, I think he wants to sell to Comcast, but I don't know. We'll see. Sorry, Tommy, go ahead, brother.
Nah, I wasn't saying nothing, bro. I'm just chilling, man. I'm waiting.
No, but it makes absolute perfect sense. You know, again, it's going to be very interesting. And Big Samus says Comcast plus Saudis versus Paramount. Who I'm telling you right now, Paramount does not have a chance in hell. The fact they've been denied 3 times shows that Warner Brothers and Zaslav do not have faith in them owning the WB brand.
They don't want the Ellises to have it. They don't want Paramount to have it. And I feel like it's because they already know they want Comcast to grab it, you know?
Oh, 100%. We'll see. Again, the way I see it, even with Games of Thrones and Harry Potter, the TV series, I don't really think Paramount, I don't think Apple, I don't think Netflix would continue those projects, and if they do, they would butcher the hell out of it and make it worse. So I think Comcast is the absolute perfect company to own WB, to keep those projects alive, and really, really have the financial background once they clear their debt to really bring that show of Harry Potter, bring the show for Game of Thrones, and extend it as long as they can. And who knows, we might see some type of Game of Thrones, if not Lord of the Rings, in the Universal parks in the future. So it's possible.
Those two franchises are amazing, and either one of those would look really, really cool in Epic Universe.
Oh, dude.
I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, those franchises were like tailor made for Epic Universe. It would just be incredible. Absolutely incredible,
Oh no, by far. But Tommy, you have anything else you want to add to that?
No, man, I'm ready for the next one.
All right. Well, one thing I wanted to bring up, because he mentioned it and I just gotta find it real quick, was, let me see if I could find it. Let me see. I'm trying to see where the hell he had that comment. But okay. This real quick before we head to Alicia Stella's video. 7H John says majority of the rides at Six Flags are themed to DC. So I want to ask you, if Comcast does acquire WB, do they work out a deal with Six Flags to allow them to keep having DC in their park, or do they rip it out of their park, which basically in a way will kind of cripple Six Flags and see?
Yeah, they can't do that, bro. I mean, come on. I mean, Magic Mountain, bro, has the Hall of Justice, bro. There's no way. Like, I mean, no, I mean, in all fun and games, yeah, it's fun to joke, but no, I think they'll have that locked in and it'll be some type of deal, because come on, bro, that's Cedar Fair already. And then I don't even know, they probably already have some type of deal, right? So I mean,
yeah, there's probably a deal in place. Even if Comcast doesn't acquire WB, it's the same thing with the Harry Potter franchise. They have a deal already in place to keep the IP in their park, and then they renegotiate, which I can't see why they wouldn't renegotiate. But then again, you never know. If a Paramount or if a Netflix or Apple says, no, we want to have those rights, and no, we don't want to renew, how detrimental would that be to Universal to rip out all the Harry Potter stuff out of their parks, especially Epic that just built all that? So, like I said, Comcast, this is crucial for them to acquire it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well, Comcast would likely get a very beneficial contract, regardless of what the details are.
Sure.
I think they would get a very beneficial contract to them that favors them when it comes to the theme park rights with Six Flags, just because like Six Flags Cedar Fair right now is not doing that well financially.
No.
So I think that Six Flags doesn't really have a lot of leverage, and they're probably going to be looking for, a nice little paycheck. They're going to try to get in where they fit in. They say in hip hop, because they're gonna want money, because they need money right now. So they might keep the rights, but maybe there's a deal where they have to pay out some or whatever. They'll work a deal with Universal, but I think there's definitely a deal to be made, just because I feel like Six Flags, they're just kind of struggling right now,
Well, they're struggling because they just closed that Great America Park, and we're seeing results of it. Look at, for example, Montezuma's Revenge at Knott's Berry Farm. Right. How long has it been behind construction walls and nothing going on? And now just all of a sudden, now they're starting construction again. It's like we saw concept art back in 2019, I believe. And now we're just seeing the results of that now.
Okay. Now, real quick, speaking of Knott's, this is an off topic a little bit, but it's still on the Knott's topic.
That's sure.
So I was at Knott's with Mr. Ebba a couple of weeks ago, right? My sister was actually happened to be there the same day, but we didn't hang out with her, but she was there with her friend that same day.
Sure.
Anyway, long story short, her phone dropped. She was on Accelerator, and that ride is crazy. You will not catch me on Accelerator any day of the week. Okay. I don't care how many drinks I have in my system. I'm never going on that thing. And her phone drops off of the top hat, that big top hat, whatever.
Yeah.
And it falls and lands like on the ground. And I told my sis, I'm like, dude, like there's no way your phone survived that. It's gone. Like even if they'll find the phone, but it's not going to be workable.
Yeah.
Dude. She's like, no, but it has a case. I'm like, a case? Come on. Are you kidding me? This thing is nuts, right? And so they find the phone and it works.
What? Oh my God.
It works. And it only has 2 lines on the screen. I mean, they're pretty noticeable, but other than that, the phone works just fine, dude. I'm like, dude, that's wild to me. Wow. Hey, dude. Hey, she said it. It had a case, and I guess it worked.
Yeah, it worked. Oh my gosh.
And Giant P, I'm guessing OG's sister is just OG with a wig on. It's funny. No, we actually look pretty different because she's actually I got like dark hair, dark eyes. My sister is blonde hair with like green eyes.
Yeah.
Or green eyes. So yeah, we look a lot different. And she's more fair skin. I mean, I'm obviously like I'm fucking white, obviously, but like I have a little bit more of like that Italian like complexion where my sister is like she's really white.
I've seen. Yeah, well, yeah, I agree. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna agree with that. It looks like Tones has to go, but I want to shout out to Tones TV on YouTube and TikTok, where this guy on TikTok has over 1 million likes, and he'll probably hit 2 million by the time the year's end. So shout out to Tones TV, but he wants to do it live pretty soon.
We'll do it, Tones. Hey, Tones works. Yeah, Tones is an awesome dude. He's a good friend of ours. He works his butt off in this space. He puts the work in, and he does a lot of great stuff, whether it be on YouTube or whether it be a TikTok. So Tones is a good, solid dude. Make sure everybody follow him on Bad Thought Studio on YouTube. Follow him on TikTok. Awesome content and a great dude overall. So,
by far. So this next subject we're going to talk about goes to Epic Universe now. So our Orlando counterpart, which we'll definitely have Jared back on because he's what I call him our East Coast correspondent when it comes to projects like this. But 150,000 square foot expansion slot. This is not it right here. This is going to be some type of event space, but it's right here. Okay, so look at this space, right? Okay, so obviously,
real quick, Conductor, before you go any further, real quick before you dive into this.
Sure.
Did you have to get a permit for that big ass Boba Fett behind you? Because that thing is huge, bro.
So okay, this is a funny story. I used to be a huge collector. Like, I mean, I had so much stuff. Like, if I still had it, I would literally have to. My walls would be covered of memorabilia. It would be ridiculous because I had I don't know if you guys have ever seen them. But like they're the Star Wars helmets, but the Hasbro ones that you can find like at GameStop and stuff. I swear to God, I had like maybe 15 of them. I'm not even kidding you. I had them all mounted on the wall, not here, but at my parents' place. But I had them all mounted on the wall and everything. So long story short, because I used to play console games a lot, PS5, and I've always been a Sony guy, but just recently I kind of got away from the consoles and now is doing computer gaming. Well, at the time, again, I used to be a huge collector. This guy was at GameStop, and I'm like, I love Boba Fett. But besides Darth Vader, which if they wouldn't have had a Darth Vader, I wouldn't have gotten him. But the fact I saw him, and this is a Funko Pop, believe it or not. They make big Funko Pops like that.
That's
where he came from.
Love him, man. That's a sick figure. I love that, dude. That's really sick.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. But I tell you what, if we ever have an earthquake, because this this right here is glass. This glass is shattering. So I might have to, staple him down or nail him down or something. I don't know. But you never know with California. We never get rain, and all of a sudden we're going through a damn monsoon storm, and who knows, we might even get that 8.9 earthquake everyone keeps talking about.
Oh,
who the hell knows at this point?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, you're telling me. I hope it happens after I die. Then it can happen. No, but as we're looking up here, so this right here up here is the Ministry of Magic building. and that 150,000 expansion building or ride is right here in this empty lot. And when you look at it side by side, I think she did a comparison. It's almost the same size. So there's an article she also put out, but they're looking at possibly maybe exploring the fact of, using a ride system that will incorporate Quidditch that we saw in the Harry Potter franchise. Non-VR though, so you wouldn't have to wear goggles. So I know a lot of people are not thrilled about or are thrilled about that, because I know the 3D experiences in the park are just a dying breed.
Yeah.
No one likes wearing those damn things. I know.
No.
Yeah, I get a little dizzy during the Transformers one in Hollywood, man. I mean, it just depends, I guess, the day or how I'm feeling or something.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I went in for like 2 years ago. I went in to go see my my doctor, my gastro doctor, because I was doing like all the prep work to do my first colonoscopy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, hey, when you get to that age, conductor, you know what I'm saying, bro? You got to check all the piping, But but anyway, long story short, so he's asking me all these questions, right?
Sure.
And he's like, "How you been feeling lately?" And I'm like, "Well, honestly, I feel pretty good, but like a few days ago, though, I felt like sick to my stomach after I went on that Transformers ride." I told him I went on Transformers and I got sick to my stomach.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's problematic or what have you. I just told him like, hey, that's just how I felt after the ride. He's like, well, you know what? You can fix that. I'm like, how? He goes, don't go on Transformers. Like, there you go, doc. That's the thing. That's the cure,
Hey, there you go. Hey, if you want a weight loss, again, motion sickness like that, there's one way to lose weight.
Oh, yeah, dude. Just ride Transformers a few times,
And then I'm not going to say the last part, but you kind of get my drift.
Yeah.
But
go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, I was going to make it a bidet joke, but nah. I'll
that's all right. Hey, it's a live stream, so go for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you might have to if you're having that if you're going on Transformers that often, you might want to have one of those at the house. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to get a bidet, you want to get one at Costco, Kirkland Signature, and you want Conductor to be your guy. So
yeah, well, I'll make sure to call out that day. So
there you
go. Oh my gosh. So I guess this right here is in the land. And this is supposedly where the second attraction is going to be. So she actually hinted at, and again, I can't play the sound because of copyright, but she was actually hinting at, besides this flying broom attraction based off Quidditch, it could actually be the French Ministry of Magic. And the reason why I bring that up is I don't know. I kind of feel like Orlando's getting all the love, and then Hollywood's kind of like just like the wicked stepchild. Like, no, new additions. No, it's going to Epic, or it's going somewhere in Orlando. And one of the things I'm kind of scared about, in my personal opinion, is the more they build for Epic for Harry Potter, what chance does the Hollywood park have for any type of Harry Potter expansion if it's not going to be an exact copy of what they have in Orlando?
I think the issue with Hollywood and Harry Potter is you're limited in space. Like, it's a very small park, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you have already a big chunk of that park is already Potter. So I think they're gonna utilize any new land that they have, whether they remove a soundstage or what have you, for some other new IP. Just because out here in Hollywood, when you're low on space, you want to have the most variety you can. You want to be the most efficient with the most effective with the little room that you have. So out here, I think the likelihood of more Potter is probably very slim. Not because it's not popular, and not because people don't like Potter, because people do like it. It's just that when you don't have a lot of room to work with, and you're dedicating so much acreage to one IP, it's a problem, I think, in my opinion. And I could be totally wrong. I mean, they might go all in on it. We might get a Diagon Alley or something. Who knows? But I just feel it's not as likely just because of that reason, in my opinion.
No, 100%. And one of the things I would like to see is maybe a second land based off Harry Potter in the Hollywood park. And I think the Falls Lake area would be the absolute perfect spot for that. I think we're starting to see, And shout out to Theme Park Wizard. That guy is just an absolute goat when it comes to theme park permits. But from talking to him and then just kind of keeping up with his Patreon and what he talks about in his YouTube videos on location, I have to tell you, by far, we're seeing new construction happening very soon, where the War of the World set is. That's where the Terror Tram usually goes through after the base motel. That's going to be non-existent anymore. They're building production facilities. They're going to move the Psycho House from its location to another location on the lot somewhere, hopefully where the tram passes by it at least. So we're seeing that. We're seeing possibly also we're seeing possibly Falls Lake eventually go away. Jupiter's Claims days are numbered. The Fast and Furious Supercharged building, which the studio tour used to go through as the finale, has been closed for months now. They don't know what to do with it. Possibly they could put something else. Possibly they're going to get rid of it. And by the way, this is that new ride system I was talking about. But you know, I wouldn't mind, Potter, you know, one more land with maybe several rides and then just call it quits after that, because I think there's enough on the lower lot with sound stages going to be removed. They already talked about it. Wizards talked about it to the cows come home, basically, that they're going to get rid of those sound stages. So, and they're already talking about possible another Nintendo property, you know, a West Coast version of Darkmoor. Pikachu has been, you know, rumored, Pokemon Pikachu. There's other lands that they're looking at for IPs. So it's more than possible. I just kind of feel like Hollywood, especially if they're going to own WB, I think that would be the absolute perfect time to build another extension to Harry Potter in Hollywood and just take over the Falls Lake area and then just call it quits after that. I think it would be it'd be a very smart move, in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing, Conductor, and to your point, right? Like I talked about space issues, right?
Sure.
But WB, Comcast acquiring WB, that changes my opinion on it.
Oh,
So
sure.
yeah, because right now, as it stands, yeah, they're really limited in space. But if they were to buy WB, like you were saying, they could offload a lot of these sound stages to the Warner lot. And now they're not as limited space wise, and being not as limited space wise, now you can afford to have more Potter because you got more room to work with. You can have it. You can have a variety of IP and have more Harry Potter at that point.
No,
so that's a fantastic point. If they buy Warner, yeah, all bets are off. Maybe we'll get another Potter area.
No, absolutely. And shout out to Hen Geek Village. I absolutely appreciate the love and support. Yes. He asks, what are your thoughts on clone rides and lands? OG, you're probably the best person to ask about this, because I've talked to you so many times about Galaxy's Edge, which is just a prime example of that. But I'm going to let you take it away.
Yeah, and here's the thing. For me, my opinion on cloned rides and stuff, it's kind of they're like the context for me matters, right? Like, for example, I agree with you. When you have two Star Wars lands, one in California, one in Florida, and they're the same, that's pretty weak, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, okay, but what happens if you build a sick ride in Tokyo? Like, I have no issue with them cloning that ride and bringing it here to California, because most people don't have the means to go to Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? So how many Californians are really going to get down to Japan to check that ride out? So I feel like that example of cloning would be fine, because the idea of everyone going over there to check it out, you know, it's not as accessible, right?
Oh.
So if it's international, I say clone away, bring all that stuff here. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
If it's between Disney World and Disneyland, that's where it gets a little bit iffier, because, you know, it's a few hour plane trip for most people in the country. Sure. And I think that's where you should have a little bit of a difference there, right? And that's why I really support what they're doing over there with Magic Kingdom. And I know a lot of fans get upset about that, but, like, you know, you want to differentiate these properties, right? So sure. Magic Kingdom always felt like Diet Disneyland for the longest time, live action Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, look, now it's going to be very different. It's going to have its own personality way more than it ever has, because they're not going to have Rivers of America anymore. They're going to have a Villains Land and a Cars area and all this other stuff that makes it its own. It gives it its own personality. That's exactly what we want, right? As Disney fans, to have different experiences. I don't want to go fly across the country to a weaker version of Disneyland. That park was the weaker version of, that was the weakest park out of all the Florida parks. Magic Kingdom was the weakest, and it was because when you're used to Disneyland, it just pales in comparison. But now my opinion will probably change on that, because now when I go over there, or in a few years when I go down there, it's going to be a whole different experience. It's not going to be that constant comparison between Disneyland, because it's just a completely new thing. It's its own thing, right? So,
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, to the original super chat, like, cloning is not the worst thing ever. There is context there with how it's done and where the clone is coming from that matters. But overall, you know, if it's stateside, I'd rather them not do it.
Yeah. Tommy, I'm going to ask you the same question. When we have cloned attractions or cloned lands, does that kind of deter you on like, for example, prime example, you know, all three of us are supposed to be going in March to Walt Disney World, right? So obviously I could probably tell you right now that, you know, Galaxy's Edge is not going to be an area you're going to focus on going to. Do you kind of feel like what OG's saying? I actually agree with OG. If you're going to clone something, I rather have it in come from the international part, because the way I see it is, sorry to say, and I don't mean this as a mean way or anything of the sorts, but most people in today's age do not have finances to go fly international, and especially go to international theme parks. Not too many people have that opportunity. So, for example, like since we're talking about Disney, I think it was in Disney Sea OG that they have a Tangled attraction.
Yeah.
If they brought something like that to either the Florida park or even Disneyland out here in California, would you like to see more of that come to the domestic parks, or would you? What's your opinion on that?
I have some of the same viewpoints as both you guys, for sure. Also looking at it a little different. So, you know, if we're going Universal route, you know,
Sure.
Japan dropped that Super Nintendo World, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, we're gonna have to wait till it hits the States because no one's flying." And you know, of course, I had a couple friends that went over there, of course, and
Sure.
I was really envious and definitely wanted to hit that park, which still has different aspects. The food is different, for sure. So, if we're looking at clone lands, so of course we got Super Nintendo World over here in 2023 in Hollywood, but this year we got it at Epic Universe in Florida, right? So I do like that it was brought to the States, and I do like it. It's in two different locations, and I also like that it's different in the aspect is almost Florida's more filled out. They actually got more of the Japan aspect of the park than us, because they got the Yoshi, you know, not dark ride, but the Yoshi little roll ride. And,
Yeah.
you know, I actually heard that the Super Nintendo Mario Kart is borderline a clone. But you know, then they got the Donkey Kong Country, so you know it adds a little bit to it. Is that the first land I'm rushing to when I go to Epic Universe in March? No, because we have it here. But if we didn't have it here, that may be the runner-up to Darkmoor, which is, you know, the Universal Monster section. It may have been a contender for that, but it's definitely I'm definitely interested in, of course, checking it out, because I do like checking out the different layouts. As you mentioned, the Galaxy's Edge is cloned, right? Of course, they had the not Helion, but you know, that hotel area where you could go.
Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah, so that was cool how they had that added on. But when I go to Walt Disney World and I go to Magic Kingdom and stuff, I definitely will walk through this. But it's funny, shout out George, the Italiano. He mentioned recently too that like he's not rushing the Galaxy's Edge over here at Disneyland either, which is kind of funny because when I first started going back to Disneyland, I would always, after the pandemic and stuff, I would always rush to Galaxy's Edge. And I did Star Wars night. And like you mentioned earlier, Conductor, you're a big Star Wars fan. You had Boba Fett. You collected all the helmets. I'm not sure if having clone lands, if something with the IP has something to do with it. Like, the Harry Potter and Epic, right? It's for the Johnny Depp one.
Oh, sure.
Fantastic Beasts. It's hard because I want to see the land and stuff, but I just don't really care for that part of Harry Potter. So, if they brought that over here or Diagon Alley over here, would people from Florida be upset because it's the same thing? It's a clone. A lot of people want Wicked either at Epic or over here. I mean, will it stand the test of time after Wicked for Good comes out? Will people still want it? But like you guys always say, the more Harry Potter, I mean, the better for me, just because the world is so established already and it's going to make money in a business standpoint. But going back to the question, clones, I'll take a clone ride. I'll take a clone land. It doesn't bother me too much. And especially along the lines with OG staying, man, if it's international, man, like it's going to be hard for me to get to France to see that Lion King ride,
Yeah, same here. Yeah. And again, I want to shout out to Hidden Geek Village with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, great take. I agree with it. It comes to international, but I feel the domestic parks need their own identity. And to be honest with you, Hidden Geek Village, me and OG talk about this tirelessly a lot. I think they do need their own identity. I think at this point, enough is enough with the cloning and all this stuff. I think, again, Galaxy's Edge was a big wake-up call. I think, compared to Orlando, they have the space to do some epic things. Get it? Epic. But out here in California, we don't have the luxury of space. So when, like, for example, Galaxy's Edge has nothing unique to it, compared to its eastern counterpart, that's kind of, it sucks. It's like you took a massive footprint for a clone, and I get it, these companies want to save money and it's cheaper to buy the same materials twice over, 3 times over, so that way they get a better bargain. But at what cost is it to us?
Well, I got one for you, Conductor, because this may flip you across the room, bro. So you straight up said you want Darkmoor over here. You want Universal Monsters Land over here. And you said you would take a clone of it. So it might just be biased, what you want at the time.
Well, okay. So let me clarify that. Just like I said with Donkey Kong months and months and months ago, I kind of feel if they brought a West Coast version of Darkmoor, there are different rides. There are different IPs 100%. Or the same IPs with different ride systems they can utilize in the Hollywood park. It's the same thing with Donkey Kong. If we got the Donkey Kong land out here in Hollywood,
I'll take it.
It does not have to be a roller coaster. It could be an indoor dark ride like Rise of the Resistance, for all I know. We could have, a restaurant like Toadstool Cafe that's based off Donkey Kong. We can have, exclusive meet and greet characters that the other 2 versions do not have. We can have different mini games that are exclusive. That's how you are different from.
So you're cool with the clone land, just have something different. You're cool with the same land being here, but just separate it from each other.
Yes. So again, maybe the same IP, but different ride systems.
Or I like it, man. I like it.
Maybe based off different characters. The Universal Monsters brand, just like Super Nintendo World, has a big brand of characters they can pull from. So it doesn't have to be copy by copy. It does not have to be like that. And Remy D actually had an interesting comment. He says, I think Universal did a bad job with Super Nintendo World and Epic. It should have been twice as big. They copied the faults of Japan's version.
Well,
OG,
and
what do you think about that?
well, this is interesting. Yeah, well, I was actually every time I go to Super Nintendo World out here in Hollywood, right? It's not a bad land, but there are flaws to it. The size out here, and I know we're more limited in space, so
Sure.
it's different, but the size is definitely an issue. But I think a bigger issue for Super Nintendo World is actually, at least out here in Hollywood, is the shade issue. And
Yeah.
this whole idea of like we're not going to have like real trees. I get it. They're trying to mimic the world and trying to be accurate. And I commend Universal for doing that. But I think in a theme park space, it's really hard to abide by because that
Sure.
land gets really uncomfortable in the hot weather. Now today it was great because it was cloudy, overcast, it was kind of rainy, so there was no heat. But when you have yellow painted floors that just blast your eyes, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you're telling me, bro. Yeah,
right?
OG, bro. And then it the sun ruins everything. I mean, you go there, you know, it's like all the paint, the red paint's turning pink, and you kind of it takes you out of it a little bit. So I know what you mean.
100%, 100%. It just gets too hot, and it's a very uncomfortable land to be in. You just want to like get in and get out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't want to like chill in there. You know, and that's a problem. You know.
So I do like chilling in Toadstool Cafe. I do like getting into there and hanging out in there.
That's dope.
I do like that spot.
I agree. That spot's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remy also mentioned, he says, I don't get the appeal of Wicked either. Then again, I haven't seen the movies. Not sure if I can watch a 2-hour musical.
Man, there's fans though. I mean, it's up there.
It's
you know, I mean, everybody's talking about Wicked for good and Zootopia 2 this month. That's the big talk, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, he comes out with another comment. Yeah, OG, Super Nintendo World and Epic being 2 floors is like Death Valley.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see it in March, man. Me and Conductor may reference you, Remy D. I mean, this is good right here. I like it.
we might put an Instagram reel or a TikTok reel or something. Say hashtag Remy D. You know.
Yep.
Good God.
Yeah, and Remy D, real quick, I just want to say Remy, Remy's a big supporter of the channels and stuff, and we really do appreciate you, Remy. So thank you for hanging out with us, and obviously you're a Conductor, and obviously on my channel OG55 and Tommy's channel. Like, you're awesome, dude. So Remy,
he is awesome.
Yeah,
I love, you know, when he does come on the channels and he posts in the comments when we're doing lives. I love his honest comments. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, and that's something that I wish more content creators would actually do and hold these companies accountable. Obviously, you know, I have a niche for bashing Disney a lot, but they also don't help their cause when they do stupid things, and I'm going to call them out on it. Obviously, Universal has their stupid things they've done, but Disney just happens to be in the spotlight more. But I do love Remy D always being honest in the comments. So do shout out to Remy D for that.
Kiki and Lucas said we need Remy on the show. Hey, Remy, just hit me up. I mean, if you ever want to come on, bro.
I would love it. I would love that. No, but you guys aren't wrong though. It's something. Again, I'm okay with cloning the land, but with modifications that make it unique and different. Where it drags people from the East Coast, vice versa, the West Coast to the East Coast, saying, okay, I have to book a flight, book a hotel, buy tickets to the park to see their version. I have to see it. Not that, oh, well, it's a carbon copy. No, I'm going to save my money. I'm going to go, you know, put pinstripes on my car or something, or do something wild like that. Just, just for a prime example. So I'm just saying, it's just these parks going forward have to make it unique.
I love the fact that he went with the pinstripes, because Tommy, that shows you he's thought about it, bro. He's thought about it.
He's ready, man. Speed racer Conductor over here.
I thought about putting flames on my little white Fusion. Are you kidding me? It's crossed my mind a couple times.
Oh, dude, speaking of cars, though, real quick, they were testing today, by the way, Fast and Furious.
Yes, they've been. So, okay, so that's an interesting comment you brought up. You know, I want to ask you, being now someone that loves Universal a lot more this year than all years combined that you've been covering the theme parks and having your channel. Do you honestly think late December, maybe early January, we could see employee preview, we could see AP preview, and then probably by the time February, March happens, we see a grand opening, or even April?
I think so, bro. I think so. I think by the end of the year, we're gonna see those previews. I really did. They were moving today. Those cars were moving, and they were moving because they've been testing it, and it's been kind of slow.
Yeah.
But today they were kind of hauling some ass. It was the fastest I've seen it. So
yeah,
man, I have a question and a statement. Just I need to throw something out there. So, all right. So the ride vehicles,
okay,
are covered in white and black stripes.
Yes,
correct.
But they all look the same, model wise. The car model looks the same, but in the preview videos and pictures, they're all different. And then shout out Crystal and Chris. They got a picture or video of one of Brian's cars. So are these, I know Five Fires, shout out Cali Bay. I know he said the white and black are covering it so the paint doesn't get messed up, but these vehicles are all the same shape. Okay. So are they going to remove these and put the real ones on after testing?
So this is an interesting comment. Okay. So I've actually heard this. So from content creators I've hung out with just recently, shout out to American Coaster Network, shout out to Theme Park Obsession and others, and even who's the gentleman you hung out with the other day, OG, that you told me about?
I met up with Universal High. He's cool.
Well, Universal High, but then there's that other one, that Almighty Coasters. So I hung out with him multiple times at Universal, and American Coaster Network and Theme Park Obsession, they both told me it's more than possible to have 4 trains, set up, where there is having two on the track, 2 in the load station. So I think this could be, because I've seen that too, that all the vehicles are the same. I think this is a test coaster or a train. I don't think it's going to be in operation. I think it's just going to be a test train. So whenever they do modifications to the track, if they need to, they run that, and then they keep the other ones in the maintenance bay. That's what I think.
No, I think you're on something with that. And real quick too, yeah, you're right. Almighty Coasters is a really cool dude. He actually kind of lives in my area. So yesterday I was at my mall, and the mall that isn't like in our area, it's kind of like this trendy, like LA kind of mall. And the food court has like a sushi bar and like a
in Topanga or what?
Topanga, yeah. And then it has like an actual bar. So I went down there to get food and just kind of hang out. And I walked by and I'm like, dude, that guy looks familiar. And it was Alan from Almighty Coaster. So we hung out, dude, for like 5 or 6 hours, we were just drinking and having a good old time, bro. He's a really fun dude. And anybody at home, if you're really into like coasters and stuff like that, obviously, like, this is a theme park community, so you probably are. Check him out on Instagram, Almighty Coasters, and on YouTube. He's a really fun guy, man.
No, absolutely.
If you're not from California, man, Topanga, this is pretty bougie. I mean, OG's hanging out. I mean, he's going Hollywood on me, man. I mean, it's all right though, as long as you take me with you, man.
Let's go, Tommy. Hey, we're gonna go to Topanga, dude, and we're gonna rock out. It'll be fun.
Oh, it would be fun.
Let's do it.
We have Amusement Park Pirates in the chat. Shout out to them. I love being on their channel and talking theme parks. Great content creator. But overall though, I think what needs to happen, like I've stated, going forward, I honestly do believe that the theme parks have to be different. International parks, I don't care. Domestic parks, there has to be a difference. There has to be, going forward. There can't be this copy and paste type nonsense. That's why I'm really excited if Josh tomorrow does become the next CEO, because he is a parks guy, like me and OG have talked about many times before. So he does have a lot of experience. Hopefully he does well for the company if he is chosen, because I don't know if Dana Walden, even though she has no parks experience, as far as I know, I don't think she would be the best for a single CEO spot. Now, if it was a dual CEO spot between her and Josh, I'd be okay with that. But it's looking like it's only a single CEO spot, so I rather pick Josh tomorrow. My only fear on that is the mere fact: are we going to see 2020 happen again with Bob Chapek and Bob Iger playing the puppet master behind the scenes? Which I don't want to see with Josh tomorrow, because they've already said Iger's still going to be part of the board, but he's going to be behind the scenes, and he's going to stick around for 2 years. That's what scares me.
Bob Iger. Here's the thing too. Like, Bob Iger has done a lot of great things for Disney. I'm not going to diminish like everything he's done, but there comes a point in time when you need to step aside and you need to let the new people come in and do their thing. Yeah. And it's been like 20 plus years now he's been there, or actually just about 20 years. I think it was in 2005 or 6 that he came in there. It's time, Bob. It's time. Let the next generation kind of have their vision, and so.
But I mean, he stepped out, right? And then another Bob came in, right?
Yeah,
he came back in, right?
He came back in. Yeah, he was gone for like, I think, like 2 years or something like that.
So he did dip out. He left.
Well,
Bob Chapek was messing up, right?
Well, no. So what happened is what's going to happen this time around. He still had a 2-year contract, but it was behind the scenes. So he wasn't in front of the cameras. It was Chapek. But anything gone wrong, Chapek was to blame. It wasn't Iger, because no one knew Iger really was still part of it, even though he was.
Wow.
So, again, that's what scares me. I hope that's not the case. I hope that the board votes to still allow Iger to, throw his comments here and there, but when it comes to decision making, he has no part of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And good friend Rudio here says, yeah, we're reaching the 3-year anniversary of when Bob came back on that crazy Sunday night. Rudio, that was wild. I was at a Friendsgiving when I got that news, and I'm sitting here. I'm at the Friendsgiving, and I'm looking at my phone, going, "There's no way, dude." And it was like Variety, Hollywood Reporter. Bob Iger comes back, and effective immediately. That was the craziest. That was one of those moments. Dude, that was one of those moments where it's like you'll always remember what you were doing when Bob came back.
Yes, dude. Oh, okay. I have to state this before we get to Kiki and Luca. I have to say I was actually sleeping, okay, to go to work the next morning, and I kid you the freak not, my phone would not stop going off. So I was literally up for 3 hours before I had to go to work, because my phone kept going off because I had to set it for my alarm. So it just nonstop. I'm like, you know what? Screw this. So I just got up and I pulled an OG. I actually tried to drink coffee, and that was an experience in itself. But I tried to drink coffee to kind of stay up, because I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I can't go back to sleep with my phone going off. So I remember that clear as a bell. That was ridiculous, but that was that was just like an atomic bomb going off on social media when that happened.
Yeah, it was wild. I was really surprised I wasn't at Topanga when the news hit, to be honest with you.
But oh man. And shout out to Kiki and Luca, one of our great moderators on the channel and great supporter of Theme Park Conductor, Orange Glow 55, and Tommy Toon World. Yes. Thank you so much. But they asked, Josh tomorrow shows the Peter principle promoted higher and higher until the job is bigger than his abilities. He has no previous experience as a CEO. Okay, so I want to ask you though, would you rather have him or Dana Walden that has no theme park experience?
Here's the thing for me personally, like I've always believed that the company should be run by studio people. I mean, historically, because here's the thing: historically, it's been studio people, and that's worked for Disney. But aside from that, Disney at its core is still a movie studio. It's still a studio. I mean, the theme parks don't have anything to do if they don't have the IPs and the characters. Like the whole heartbeat of the whole machine is the studio. So I like Dana. I always have. I respect her. I don't think she's done a great job though in the CEO race. Now, her ability, I am very confident in her ability to be CEO. I just don't think she's run the race very well, if that makes sense. I think Josh has maneuvered the corporate waters a lot better in this case. I'm fine with her. I'd be great. I'd be completely okay with her. I really like and respect her. Do I think she's going to get it? I mean, it's not looking so great right now. You know, I mean, it's possible that Josh becomes CEO and maybe they make Dana Walden like the, you know, like a president. I mean, they bring back the president position, or maybe they do a co-CEO structure like Netflix has, and it's Josh and Dana. Yeah, it might be that, but I don't know, man. I mean, we'll kind of see, you know. But it's looking like it's going to be Josh. I mean, and Josh, I've been really critical of him, you know, but I mean, he honestly has been handling the CEO race
by
pretty
far.
Damn near flawless. He's maneuvered these waters really, really well. Now he doesn't. Now, I don't think you need theme park experience though to run Disney. Because, like I said, it's a studio. So, and Michael Eisner didn't have any theme park experience. He came from Paramount, and Frank Wells came from Warner Brothers. So, for me, that's not a big priority to have that theme park experience. But for a lot of fans, it does matter. So, I don't know. I guess to each their own. But
100%. Tommy, what do you think about this?
I'll just throw in my little 2 cents. I mean, because you guys know a lot about the business aspect, but Josh Tomorrow definitely looked like he was shaking hands and kissing babies at the July 17th opening. Bro, he was putting in his all, bro. He was grinned up. Yeah, he was shaking. He's ready to, I think, get boots on the ground too. I don't know. He's a little bit old, bro. He's a little, you know, he got white. You know, I don't know. I think he can pull it off. I think he's still young enough in his heart to handle it. Like, I'm okay with it if it's just being one position, if it's being him over who you had mentioned, Dana Walden or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it looked like he was excited for the Walt animatronic. I mean, I'm cool with it as long as you give me the enthusiasm and you actually come out and show yourself off. I mean, show you're like a people's person. You know, of course, the business matters the most, but I mean, looking at a different aspect of it, show face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and he's been, you're right, man. He has it down. He's got the charisma. He's got that down. Yeah. He's got the corporate maneuvering. He's on his game, dude. Dude, Tomorrow is on his game like he's standing on a Switch too. He is like on his he's on that game so good. But no, he definitely has it. So if he can maneuver running the company like he maneuvers the corporate culture, I think he'll do a great job. So we'll see how it is. You know?
Well said, yeah.
Well, just look at the guy. He loves being in front of the cameras. Look at him. Look at that
but he's there, man. And I know there's like critical stuff that OG has on his channel. I know we've all talked about this, but you know, it's inevitable. Stuff is coming. Bob Iger's leaving. We need someone that at least projects out the way we want. You know what I mean? Or at least he adapts the way we're going to want eventually. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well said.
Exactly. But I do have to say though, looking at Iger for how old he is, he does look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie,
bro. Bob Iger looks amazing. He's like in his mid-70s. This guy looks fantastic.
Man, that's crazy.
I
hope I look like that. You know what I mean?
Dude, this guy knew a secret.
Dude, this guy's eating all organic. He's eating grass-fed beef. This guy is not playing. Bob Iger is not playing, dude. He doesn't put a single preservative in his body. I guarantee it.
Right.
Yeah. This guy is crazy. Oh, but
none of that Disney food dye, man.
Definitely not. For sure. For sure.
He's probably like what's that guy on Average Joe's Goldman? Like he has the pizza next to him. He's smelling it, but he doesn't eat it. That's probably Iger right there. He smells the aroma, but that's it. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah, Bob, when he gets pizza, is cauliflower crust. Like he's serious.
Exactly. Right.
But Conductor Alessio sent a super chat.
Yes, he did.
$1.99.
Thank
Alessio
you so
Pasquale. Yeah, no,
I
both
love,
both Dana and Josh must be co-CEOs, a la Eisner and Wells. See, that would be a great
see,
collabo. You know?
well,
Mhm.
see, it's so interesting he mentions that because the company was started with Walt and Roy.
Right.
So why we kind of got away from that, I don't know, but I think between Demaro and Dana Walden, I think it would be a great combo to have the dual CEO or position back. I don't think it would be such a bad idea. I think in a way, I think Demaro can focus on the parks. He could focus on maybe the cruise lines, and Dana Walden can handle all the media stuff, Disney
Right.
Plus. Just Walt Disney Imagineering when it comes to the animation side, and stuff like that. I don't see why a dual CEO position this time around would be such a bad idea. I
No,
don't.
no, it's worked. It's worked. I mean, that's what set up the Walt Disney Company. Like you were saying, Walt and Roy. That dynamic seems to work. We had Eisner and Wells, so I'm all for it. I hope they do something like that. I really do. Something outside the box a little
Oh
bit.
God, oh God, we got trouble.
What
Here we go.
happened? Oh,
This guy.
Mr. Wizard.
This guy.
Hey, that you
Wizard
know
in the
what?
house, man.
Oh
I love
God.
Wizard. He's
Uh,
great. I hung out with Wizard today actually at Universal. We had a good time. He's fun.
oh yeah, he's fun. All right. Yeah, well, I won't go into it, but yeah, he's fun. Let's put it that way.
Now he said that Iger's getting the Beverly Hills treatment. Absolutely.
Oh, 100%
Absolutely.
he's getting it. Are you
Absolutely.
kidding me?
Yeah, and he's probably shopping at Topanga.
Right.
Hey, double date him and Demaro. Why not? Hey, Burbank's not too far away, right?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. No, yeah. And Tommy, on a serious note, you are correct with Josh Yamaro. He's older, but he's still fairly young. I think he's like in his mid-50s. So older gentleman, but for CO and stuff, man, that's still pretty, he's got
Right.
years to do this, still.
Oh, for sure. I'm just going to answer a couple questions and then we're probably going to end it for tonight. But Kiki and Lucas says, for sure, network TV is an albatross in the company. It's going to continue to go downhill. And that's what we're seeing even with Warner Brothers with, possible bids between Comcast, Paramount, Apple, Netflix, and others. And even the Saudis are interested, is that they're, all these companies are starting to realize linear is dead. Streaming is where it's at. So they're starting to get rid of that a lot. And
then, hey, just going off on a tangent with what we were talking about earlier with, because since you brought WB up again,
yeah,
I don't think Paramount, I don't think it's a chance because they just locked in their deal with UFC. UFC starting in January. I mean, how much of this entertainment business are they going to try to take over? I think if they're trying to jump in the sports realm, especially combat sports, I mean, of course they have different teams and stuff, but
sure,
dude, if they locked in UFC and WB, bro, like, they're starting a whole new generation of Paramount. So, I don't know if that could happen. That would be something to fear, though, like from Universal and Disney, like if they did lock that in,
No, 100%. And then Mr. Brian 13 asks, I just hope people just give Josh at least 1 year before putting his head on a stick. LOL, but I doubt it.
Well, and that's fair. Yeah, no, that's a great point, Brian. I mean, this stuff, this is a big company, and you have to let these decisions play out a little bit, But yeah, fans are going to jump on every little thing, and I get it. I mean, I get it. If there's like an obvious bad decision, like he's shutting down the animation division or something, call him out. Yeah, but he's not going to do anything like that. But I mean, you're right. I mean, we have to be fair and give the guy a little bit of time,
Dude, Remy's on fire tonight, man. I tell you, how much do you think guys Bob Iger can bench? How much do you think?
Seriously. Well, you know what? Okay, well, hey, look, I'll be honest with you. I once I was at Disneyland. I walked by and I saw backstage he was benching a Pirates of the Caribbean boat, dude. So
okay,
he's ripped, man. He's ripped. I saw it.
Yeah, legend has it. Legend has it.
So I'm actually going to throw my bid in. I'm going to do it. I think he honestly, I think he could bench 120.
Okay, that's pretty solid for a dude in his 70s. What do you think, Tommy? You think do you think Bob Iger has 120 in him?
Well, what's the bar weigh? 45, 55. So let's give him some benefit of the doubt. If he has upper strength, man, let's give him 150 to 200, maybe. I mean, let's just
well,
let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. You said organic grass-fed beef. I mean,
that's true.
You know,
yeah, exactly, dude. He's drinking his bulletproof coffee in the morning. He's good to go.
Exactly. Let's go, man.
Hey, you gotta find out what coffee he drinks, OG, and then you'll look ripped like him.
I know, dude.
Right.
I hope I'm as ripped as Bob Iger at 70-something years old. That'd be fantastic.
God.
Right.
Oh, man. Alicia Pasquale 4239 says the reason I say Josh and Dana must be co-CEOs is because it will be able to avoid the same fiasco of Chapek all over again. Also, it would be equal power of man and woman, and like Sith rule of 2 and SW.
In Star Wars, that's pretty cool. The rule of 2.
That's a good take.
Yeah, dude. Alessio's fun. Alessio's been a friend a long time, and he really passionate film fan, and just passionate Disney fan overall. So,
by far. And he also said the shareholders who don't like the idea of the co-CEOs need to accept the idea of that, or Disney will be in trouble again. Well, Disney has an opportunity with either DeMalo or Walden to really take advantage and kind of bring back a lot of the things that have been cut that people absolutely loved. And I'm not talking about lands and IPs and all that. I'm talking about infrastructure. I'm talking about things that kind of were disappointing during Chapek's time, during Bob Iger's return, that got cut. So DeMaro or Walden has a great opportunity here. But if Iger is put in the position where he's put backstage for the next 2 years, but he still has influence over the board, we're going to see a Chapek situation all over again. And I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah. They have an opportunity right now to really kind of think outside the box. They can't play it safe. I would love to see that. I would love to see that new structure of the co-CEO thing, but we'll see what they do. You gotta take some chances, Disney. Come on, you can't.
You gotta learn from Comcast. If they're willing to take risks, why can't you?
And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, because they just announced that co-CEO thing for Comcast, right? Comcast Universal, and we were talking about how they want to buy Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's another move they're preemptively making, because obviously, if they were to buy Warner Brothers, it would be a much bigger company. And maybe Brian Roberts is seeing that, like, hey, you know what, if we're gonna acquire Warner, maybe we should have a co-CEO structure. And again, this is all just OG speculating. I'm kind of just getting my speculation hat on or whatever, but I just find it kind of interesting. All these moves being made, they're spinning off the cable stuff. They got a co-CEO structure. Now they're interested in buying Warner Brothers, right?
No, 100%. So it's more than possible. And there's been talks about Brian Roberts still holding his CEO spot, but being more in the back end of things, not being in front anymore, and kind of letting the other gentleman kind of be in front of the camera. So it's more than possible by far. Let me see. I'm just going to go through a couple more of these comments. At 7H John says, cancel some of those ships and spend it on films or the parks. What do you think about that?
I actually really like the Disney cruise. I've only done it twice, but I've done the Wonder and the Wish. I think it's a world-class experience. I really do love it. I'm fine with them spending money on ships. I don't know. I mean, as long as, within reason, but I don't see any evidence that money is hurting the parks or anything like that. So
no.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I've always wanted to go on the Disney cruise, and I can say tonight, I haven't said it on YouTube, but I said it on my TikTok, I will be going on the Disney cruise in 2027. Okay. I am going to do it. So, and it will be the Disney treasure, and believe me, I cannot wait. It's going to be magical.
It will be. We're going to share the same bed, right, Conductor?
I'm not going to answer that. I plead. You're so bad. Oh my gosh. Vinton Solar's 8464 says, I really do love it. I'm fine. There are cruises, make tons of money for them, and it's under the parks, under the financial end of things.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Remy, I gotta keep bringing up his comments because it's awesome. Disney really has no competition in the premium family cruise market.
Oh, yeah. No,
There is no competition at the moment.
None.
But
if Universal gets into that, and Universal has such an opportunity, like we were saying, if you had a Universal cruise that took you to their island, and their island has like dinosaur AAs and stuff, it's Jurassic Park.
Oh, dude.
I mean, come on.
Or
Universal.
Or just a 7-day cruise of just HHN. Can you imagine that?
Like a haunted cruise. Yeah. Oh, that'd be sick.
Oh man.
I'm telling you, Tommy. That's
fire.
We're gonna do it.
I'm doing it. Kiki and Lucas says, who are you going with on the cruise, Conductor? It is a singles cruise. They can't say that. Not yet.
You can't say that?
No, but I can promise you I'm having my own bed, so I'll say that and leave it as that. I'm not sharing. Mr. Brian 13 says that would be crazy, but I think it could be positive. So I don't know if he was referencing maybe the cruise or lines or something. And then Melissa says they need to rein in the budgets on the films. Yeah, their films have been hurting.
They have. Well, and you're right, Melissa. I mean, and you're right, Conductor. The film has been hurting. It's like self-inflicted wounds, though, because a lot of Disney movies actually perform pretty good, but they don't ever make any money because the budgets are so bloated and crazy. So get those budgets down. Like, there's still demand for these Disney movies, but you can't make a profit. Like Indiana Jones, dude, it was like one of the most expensive movies ever made. Like, that's ridiculous. There's
that new one was terrible, bro.
Yeah.
The Dial of Destiny.
The new one was terrible. But hey, we got Zootopia 2, and it's the November slot. So I have faith. It's a different week than Wicked for Good, too. So different crowd, too, right? The family crowd, kid crowd. I mean, of course, it intermeshes, but I think there's going to be, I think Zootopia 2 is it, man. Then we had Lilo and Stitch this year. I mean, they're trying, man. They're trying to bring it back. And, you know, we had some shift in culture. They're trying to bring it back to, you know, they're trying, man. They're trying. Let's give them a year or so to, you know, correct, because movies take a while to come out.
No, there's a lag. You're right. No, 100%, Tommy. There is a lag in the film stuff, you know? And I mean, even to this day, because like Rudio was saying in the chat, it was 3 years since Chapek left.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still seeing the effects of Chapek 3 years out on the film side because of that lag. It takes a long time. These movies are in production for years. The average animated movie from start to finish is about 4 or 5 years in production. So
I believe it.
Yep.
I 100% believe it. But yeah, so we'll see what happens, you know, with everything. But a lot of news we talked about today, and I'm just so happy that both Tommy Toon World and Orange Grove 55 took time out of their busy schedules to come on Conductor Sunday live stream. Absolute amazing time. A lot of great topics we talked about. I want to shout out to Thrill Geek and Kiki and Luca, and what was the other one? There was one more. Alicia Pasquale for the super chats. Thank you guys so much for, again, supporting Theme Park Conductor, watching us on Conductor Sunday live stream as we break all this theme park news. And shout out to our amazing guests for tonight and many more great times on the channel and on Orange Grove 55 and Tommy Toon World, which Tommy and I and OG will be in the parks in early December. So if you do see us roaming around and you see OG's hair from a distance, because it's hard to miss, come say hello.
Yeah, absolutely. Come by and say hi.
Absolutely. But Tommy, I'm going to start with you, kind sir. Again, thank you for joining tonight's Conductor Sunday live stream. Where can everyone find you on social media?
Man, my man Conductor, man. Thanks for having me on, man. I love coming on the live streams. Get lost in the sauce some weekends, but I am here. OG, bro. It's always good talking to you, man. We talk shop.
Yeah.
Can't wait till we get on the next one. Man, we got the holiday run coming up in 2.5 weeks. You guys got a preview with Conductor and Hollow Gelato. It's going to be a crazy one, man. We're going to hit Disney, DCA, Knott's Merry Farm, and Grinchmas at Universal.
Dude,
So, it's going to be a crazy time. Yeah. What do you think, Conductor?
I think it's going to be an awesome time. Again, I have so much fun in the parks with Orange Grove 55, yourself, Tommy Toon World, and of course, the one and only theme park wizard who has no problem shouting in a crowd, choo choo, like I mean to the top of his lungs. I'm like, did this guy have a Duff beer before he did that, or what? This guy is off his
Exactly.
rocker.
Bro, exactly. Like you never know how the night's gonna go. It's always a good time, man. The organic chemistry, we're locked in. I can't wait for the holidays in the park, man. It's gonna be something else. Hope the weather's nice. But yeah, wrapping it up, man. You can catch me on my YouTube channel, TommyToon_world, Instagram at TommyToon_, and we'll just roll it right back at TikTok, TommyToon_world.
There he is.
Absolutely. And the one and only Orange Grove 55 with his hair that's insured, but we just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Conductor, thank you for being an amazing host today. Appreciate you, brother. Always a good time with you. Tommy, amazing. You guys are fantastic. Everybody in the chat, John, Amusement Park Pirates, Vinton, Kiki and Luca, Rudio, Theme Park Wizard, Haunted Mermaid, everybody who joined us today. It was a really, really good time. And Remy D. But yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube. If you're watching this on Conductor's channel, you can find me on YouTube, Orange Grove 55. You can also catch me on Instagram, Orange Grove 55, where you can see some of the reels that, hey, Tommy and I have a reel right now from Slice House, from Universal Hollywood. That is absolute fire. Tommy does reels like no other. So check it out on Instagram. You can find it there. But yeah, again, thank you everybody for joining. Appreciate you, and have a great night.
Absolutely. And I'm your host, Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on YouTube and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on Instagram at theme_park_conductor. You can also find me on X at Theme Conductor. You can find me on TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1. And you can find me every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. on Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like the one and only Tommy Toon World with his world famous food reviews, Orange Grove 55 with that wild, wicked insured hair that he has, which I love, and so many other great content creators come on the channel, and we discuss everything from Universal, both here on the West Coast, East Coast, Disney on the West Coast, East Coast, and international, and future things happening at the parks where we can all experience and dive further into that immersion and that magic. It's such a great time. Come join us sometime. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are absolutely amazing. Our moderators, Kiki and Luca, Orange Grove 55, Tommy Toon World, Tones TV, and several others. And shout out to our one and only theme park wizard, the absolute GOAT when it comes to theme park permits. Absolutely amazing. But have a good night, everybody. I will see you guys next Sunday on Conductor Sunday live stream. Have a good night. Oh, God.